Hey there, Adrienne Elise here. Welcome to the Gaia Daily for April 9th and 10th, 2020. How are you doing? Well, there is some powerful energy trying to shift right now and a lot of forces trying to keep it from shifting. We are in such an intense, like a pressurized system right now. And we know that we've already crossed the threshold of this spiritual shift. And yet, the energies of control seem to be doing all they can to try to keep that back in the bottle, keep the genie back in the bottle, which is impossible because nothing can stop this spiritual evolution. It is our time now. But really powerful messages for these soul groups that what we're waiting for is we gotta inch up that vibrational frequency. There's just this tendency with Mercury at these end degrees of Pisces. So Mercury this weekend, today it's at 26, 27 Pisces, and then it moves over to Aries on the 11th, 12th, Saturday, Sunday, and just in time for Easter. And so we are, and Mars is moving on from that exact square with Uranus, but we're really feeling that energy right now. Excuse me. And so this is like a pressure container, and it's like, so part of this Mercury at the end degrees of Pisces is like we're waiting for a savior, like the distortions of the Piscean age. And this has kind of been our problem all along. We've been, we're doing, and this is a strange thing. It's such a juxtaposition because you can feel this lightening of the energies. You can feel the ascension energies, but you can also feel the grid. There's so much technological control right now being used, weaponized against us. And it's becoming more and more clear. The evidence is out there. I don't have time to get the links to you today, but the information is being taken down and censored heavily right now with the technological component of this world situation. And so that tells us that we're onto something here. And there is a huge push to install more and more technological energies that can be used as a weapon against us. And so we're in this very, very strange time because we're in a natural spiritual evolution, but then the control energies are just trying to clamp that down, And the whole thing is waiting for us to take it up a couple of notches with our vibrational frequency. And this is a very interesting energy because it's like being pressurized in a can, and it's like Jack in the Box. And Jack in the Box is about to fly off the handle with Mercury getting ready to move into Aries and join Black Moon Lilith and Chiron. So those conjunctions will be happening in the middle of next week. And so we've got, and then that Mars square Uranus, and Mars is like, we got to go. We've got to break through this barrier. We're so close. We can feel it, but it's this feeling of like, okay, well, it's going to change, and it's like, I think now is our turn to like, there's nowhere for us to go, and this is this pressure building of the lies we're being told about this situation, how our rights are being taken away, our economy is being ruined, and we're being poisoned like we've been for so long, and we're being attacked. And so there's the outward protest that needs to happen of people standing up and saying, no, but these souls, it's really about a spiritual protest. And that spiritual protest has to do with raising your vibrational frequency and holding the light and moving through. So we're like being pushed. So then at some point in your journey, when you're in, I know you've been here because these souls go through these periods of time of that dark night of the soul. And you'll go to that place where there's only one place to go. And that is deeper within and way out there to your true self, your higher self. And so we've got to see this time spiritually as that no matter how much, what force is working upon us, whether it's like these awesome new activating energies of these new area of the galaxy, or whether it's the control matrix clamping down for its last hurrah, we've got to use it all to do what we're here to do, which is really ironic and opposite and frustrating because we're here to feel good, right? Like the higher vibrations feel good. But then when you have to face the truth of what's happening and how humanity is just rolling over and taking it, it's like really depressing, you know? And so it's our job right now to come together. So there is going to be a meditation this weekend. I haven't decided exactly when is the right time, but keep an eye out for that. It's going to just be a kind of a last minute putting it out there so that just kind of fly under the radar with the energies. But it's time for us to rise. It's time for us to rise up in our frequency, rise up in our awareness, and hold a vibration of what we're doing here spiritually, and use everything that's happening to push us into those higher frequency vibrations. Because the messages I'm getting right now is that we've been waiting and waiting for a change. And now it's like, we're the next piece of the change. The next piece of the change is us coming together in our consciousness and pushing through the ceiling, the boundary. And it used to be that there's all this fear programming keeping us down. There's all this direct attack, on these souls. And that's all true and real. But it's like, this is pushing us beyond that, to claiming our right and our permission for higher frequency vibrations. And it's like, get that monkey off my back, right? And so it's like the best tool I know to do this is to come together in our consciousness. And we've been doing so good with this, but it's like, we're just at this place where we just gotta inch it up a little bit. And it just feels like this energy of pressure. And maybe a good time with this Mercury getting ready to move into Aries. And so yeah, probably. So we'll kind of see about when the energy is right for that. Maybe I'll do the exact time as the same as the meditation last week, just to keep it simple. And it looks resonant with the energy of Mercury moving into Aries. So we've got still feeling this Mars in square to Uranus. And maybe that's what's happening right now. It's like we're coming off of that. And this Uranus in Taurus and Mars in Aquarius really wanting to push us into around the corner. It's like, we cannot stay here in the birth canal. We cannot stay here any longer. The baby's losing oxygen, literally losing oxygen, because this is the effect of these technologies that while we're stuck at home are being installed. And I know that there's really good energies on the planet working to stop this. And then there's us who needs to stand up in our truth, in our information. The power is with the numbers. And in our group, it's about our consciousness. And can you hold those truths and still rise in your vibration and claim your spiritual evolution? Because we know that's what this is about. And it's like all these energies pushing us to that one place, So who cares about all that story really? Because it's all about pushing us into spiritual ascension, whether it's positive or negative forces right now. This is the divine timeline coming in. Right? But just more and more the messages of like, we're the next piece of the puzzle. And so how do we do that? How do we find permission within our being? How do we get out from under the technological pressurized system, the lower matrix, and pop up above? Because it's right there. And we've all had glimpses of it over this last couple of weeks of those higher vibrational frequencies. And so the other messages that we have, our light body, our vibrational field, who you are as a soul with the skills you came in with into this earth evolution, you know exactly how to protect yourself energetically, and that's going to be a big focus of the meditation this weekend, is the power we have in our own electromagnetic field to create our own harmonious atmosphere and vibration. And that's what we're also doing for the earth as we go through this transition. And So, um, it's like, uh, an incredibly potent and powerful time. Now the North Node has moved over to 1 degree Cancer, and I think that's really significant because we're just almost done with this North Node, just a couple more weeks till the North Node moves into Gemini. Venus tomorrow goes into its retrograde shadow, um, and so we're in a huge shift of energy with that. It's like retrograde season. It's like, no, 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 no. We need to move forward, right? But the retrograde season is about opening our mind, about changing our mind, about learning new truths, about rearranging our psyche, that to a better place, to a more harmonious place, to a place that is about love. Thinking about our thought process, our conceptual reality is about love. And that's one of the beautiful things about what's happening right now, because we have these timelines all sandwiched together. So there's very negative things happening, but they're really positive right at the same time, right? Because I have seen people in such isolation, over these last years. It's like social media, it makes you it like the illusion is that it's bringing us together, but it's really made people feel so alone. And this is pushing people through their boundaries of intimacy, right? It's like, and we're coming back together. Now, the Aquarian age is that. The Aquarian age is an egalitarian, community-based living where everybody's taken into account, you know? And so that is a really important energy. And Venus is what we love, what we care about, what makes us feel good. And so it's like an acceptance energy, a shifting of our mind, with this Gemini, being a mutable sign, opening up to wider truths, adjusting our thinking, and doing it from a place of love. Now, the North Node moving into Gemini says that that's how we're going to move forward. The North Node is like, how are you going to get to where you're trying to go? And that has to do with thoughts and beliefs and rearranging those thoughts and beliefs. So the North Node stays in a sign for about a year and a half. Now that puts the South Node, this is a huge transition. I got to get a video out about it, but the South Node in Sagittarius. And so that's really interesting because this represents a deep place of pain for these souls, where lifetime after lifetime, and this has been coming up so much for these souls right now. This is so on the table, and this might help that blooming from past lives really powerfully right now around where you were thwarted in your mission and you feel like you failed. And the energies that have attacked you again and again want you to fail. They want you to give up, right? Like their agenda is for you to say, fine, I give up. I'm going to go to the matrix. I'm going to become a robot now, because it's like you're the cutting edge of spiritual ascension. You're also the last frontier of your own mind. Okay. Because of being an advanced soul, you're not as susceptible to the groupthink mind control technological experiment we're in right now. The induced coma that we've been put in through technological control, and it's like, so it's really wild because it's like, and we talked about yesterday how you are the last bastion of having this connection to your own source. And that's why for the last few years, big, huge bloom of the narcissistic energies around you being like, doing everything to manipulate and get what they want from you. And it feels like it's like abuse, but it's like, actually, that's evidence that you have it going on, and own that shit, right? Like, so this is such a radical shift. I'm seeing another beautiful thing about what's happening right now is these souls saying no to those parasitic energies. And that's what we're doing on the planet. We're just in the process of that, and we're somewhere in the dark tunnel, of the birth canal. And it feels like we're never going to make it through, right? Because that's kind of how the story goes. It's the darkest before the dawn. It's the moment of losing your hope, and so we have to grab onto that and know, as souls that can see the bigger picture of the story. and be present with the fact that this is the all is lost moment. And the light is, we know it's right there. We've been feeling it little by little as we can allow it. Now, another message coming through is that nature is an antidote to this technological control. And so you don't have to have a huge amount of nature, but you need to put your consciousness into nature, right? So the life force, the oxygen energy that they're attacking right now is like in nature. And if you connect energetically to just a plant, try it with your house plant if you have one, or like a tree that you love in your neighborhood. Energetically connect with that being, because there's an intelligence there that is available for us right now. And nature is the antidote, and you are the antidote. So that's kind of the story astrologically. We're in a pressure cooker, and we're going to see a big shift energetically this weekend with Mercury moving over to Aries, and we'll just kind of see how this thing all plays out. We're not going to be here forever, though. That's part of the agenda, which is also, there's good things to this too, right? Like slowing down time. This is how the control energies have their whole mechanism is about keeping us in de-evolution, right? Kind of going backwards, right? Coming back to the earth again and again, repeating the same old stories. And so slowing down time is a way to like keep us from this spiritual evolution, right? And yet the slowing down of time is also helping these souls, you guys on the cutting edge of spiritual ascension, adjust to your new relationship to time. So everything that's super negative right now also has a huge, massive positive, because this is the timelines sandwiched, layered together as we go through this portal. So the message is to, again, use everything, because you're here for one thing. You're here for one thing. You went through all of this. You have the codes. You know how to do it on some level. And so when you find yourself in that all is lost energy and defeat, be like, oh, that's where they want me. And it means the light, my bigger truth, those expansive, beautiful energies that are coming in right around the corner, right out there, right? So put your attention there, because attention is attraction. And it feels so hard sometimes right now. But it's kind of like, okay, but like maybe when you're connecting to nature, right? And you're like, I'm going to put my attention here on the antidote, on the life force. I'm going to put my attention on, I know these ascension energies. I felt them, even if it was for a flash, for a moment. You felt them. And we're being asked to hold this energy of the ascension energies in our field, in our vibration, because we're tipping the scales so that we can get out of the birth canal and the things can happen, and we have to stop waiting for the savior, because we are the savior. I mean, we're the incarnation, these soul groups of the Christ consciousness. That's the rebirth of the child of light. And this weekend with Easter energies is a really good meditation energy for that. So hang in there and try to get yourself informed as much as you can. And I'll have links tomorrow about if you want to do some more research of what's really happening. But we do need to get informed, but also we need to stay in the energies. So it's a tricky place, of these higher vibrational frequencies that are available for us. So I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for the next update, and also this weekend for the And We Rise meditation. Global meditation. I look forward to seeing you there. So until then, I'm Adrienne Elise. Namaste.